Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. The topic we are doing these days is interpolation, and so far we have discussed one method regarding interpolation, that is the power series interpolation. So in the last video, at the end of the lecture, I have told you that power series interpolation is not preferred in practical situations since there are too many drawbacks of that interpolation. The first drawback I told you was that there is a cost involved in power series interpolation associated with the solution of a linear system. So जब आप power series interpolation apply करते हैं तो आपको एक system of linear equations solve करना पड़ता है. So if you have 4 nodes given in the data, तो आपको 4x4 का एक linear system solve करना पड़ता है. If you have 10 data points, then you need to solve a 10x10 system. So this is not the only issue. There is another issue associated with power series interpolation. The system matrix that is generated in power series interpolation is a bad conditioned matrix known as the Vandermonde matrix. And Vandermonde matrix is one of the matrices who has a large condition number, and in computing community, the bad condition matrices having large condition number, they are not preferred because they give rise to too many rounding errors in the computations, and at the end of the day you don't get the approximated solution but a garbage produced by numerical simulations. Okay, so thanks to Lagrange has given a very nice idea. He told by giving a very useful formula that you don't need to solve a linear system while doing interpolation. Rather, you just need to generate formula in such a way that gives you the exact value at the node, which is of course the requirement, and then there is some error term associated with that formula. What will happen in the neighborhood of that nodes? Okay, तो आज के लेक्चर में हम Lagrange interpolation को देखने जा रहे हैं. To give the idea, first I will take 2 points and then 3 points, and then you can of course generalize in your MATLAB code. You can take more than 3 data points. So dear students, you can see on the first slide of this lecture, the topic is Lagrange interpolation. So imagine we have given some data regarding to an unknown function. So I have taken 2 loads. These are the values of x, and this is y. So this could be temperature, y could be density, this could be pressure volume relationship, or any other data coming from some experiment or some observation. I have already discussed these things. Okay. Since we have 2 data points, so this unknown function y can be approximated through a first degree polynomial. Now look at this factor here. X minus x1 divided by x naught minus x1 multiplied by y naught plus x minus x naught divided by x1 minus x naught times y1. So what we require in interpolation is that the polynomial at the given nodes must agree with the unknown function y at these nodes for all n, for all given data points. So this was the idea when Lagrange generated such kind of formula. Now if you look carefully at this factor, let me take some highlighter. Okay, this factor, this is 0 at x1, and this is 1 at x naught. So it is active only at the first node, x naught, and this is dead at all other nodes. In this case, there is only one second node. At x1, this is 0. Now look at this component. This is 0 at x naught, and this is 1 at x1. So each of such factors, they are active only at one node and they are dead. They vanish at all other nodes. So in this way, it is very easy to check this first degree polynomial that approximates this table of values. This gives you y naught at x naught, since this will be dead at x naught, and this will gives you 1. So 1 times y naught will be y naught. And when you will come to the second node x1, this will be dead, and this factor, this will give rise to a value of 1. So we can say this formula given by Lagrange, this formula satisfy these qualities, these constraints. So at the moment we have two constraints. Since this is a first degree polynomial, all the two constraints are satisfied. So let us extend this idea to a data having 3 values, and then of course in a computer program you could have as many nodes as you wish. So x naught, x1, x2, these are the arguments. I told you the values of x are called arguments, and these are called entries. The y values are called entries. Of course, we have 3 nodes. There will be a second degree polynomial that will be fitting into this data, and this first factor, look at this repeated multiplication, and there will be a built-in command in MATLAB to compute such factors that you will do in your computing labs. Okay, so if you look at this, first we have ignored x naught, and we have taken these factors x minus x1, x minus x2 divided by this left factor x naught minus x1, x naught minus x2 times y naught, and then this second factor, you ignore x1 in this case, and you write x minus x naught, x minus x2 divided by x1 minus x naught, x1 minus x2 times the second entry in the table y1, and similarly the third factor, third component of the Lagrange polynomial, you ignore x2 and you utilize these two nodes x naught, x1 as x minus x naught, x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x naught, x2 minus x1 times y2. Now we want to generate a second degree polynomial. Of course, these are factors of this polynomial. When you multiply these two factors, you will be getting an xk term with some other coefficients. And when you combine all these 3 components, you will get a second degree polynomial that will be called a Lagrange interpolating polynomial. So let us give some credit to Lagrange. And for that, I will be renaming these factors as L0, L1, L2. Let me go to another slide. Yes. Okay. So coming back to first degree polynomial, this factor, if we write this as L0, and this factor as L1, we could write this as P1 of x equals to L naught y naught plus L1 y1. Of course, this L naught is actually a function of x. For the sake of brevity, I have just written L0 and L1. Okay, where L naught is this, L1 is this. You can easily verify all of such factors. They are 1 at one node and they are 0 at other nodes. Similarly, if you look at L1, that will be 0 at first node and that will be active at the second node, which is denoted as x1. So in general, we could say all these factors L, if I generally denote, is Lk of x. They satisfy the Kronecker delta property. What I'm saying is that Lk of xj, this would give rise to two values. One, when k is equals to j, and 0 otherwise. Otherwise mean when k is not equals to j. So this is also known as in tensor notations delta of ij, or it's a Kronecker delta symbol that gives you only 0 and 1 depending upon the inputs. Okay. So with this quality, we can ensure that the polynomial agrees 100% with the unknown function at the given nodes. And of course, when you are not hitting the node, you are in some neighborhood of that node, which is the actual task of interpolation, there will be some numerical error. Okay. So for a 3 data points, Px will be L naught y naught plus L1 y1 plus L2 y2. Summation k grows from 0 to 2 Lk yk. So far so good. So we move towards some simple examples. Of course, I told you in classroom or in lectures, we always solve some toy problems to have the idea of the method. We know what are the steps involved, and then we can, of course, write a computer program to extend to higher number of data points. So the next slide is again the repetition of what I have told you, but quickly we can see this. So any unknown function can be approximated through a second degree polynomial if you are given 3 data points by this formula, which is actually sigma of Lk yk. And for a second degree polynomial, k runs from 0 to 2 because we have only 3 parts here. And polynomial at first node agrees with the first data point in the table. Polynomial at second node agrees with second data point, and polynomial at x2 agrees with the third value, third entry in the table. So the quality of L naught, L1, L2, you can see L naught is active only at x naught and it is dead at other 2 nodes. Similarly, L1 is active at x1, L2 is active at x2, and at rest of the nodes L2 is 0. So with this, we can have the guarantee that the polynomial will gives you the same result as given in the data points. So it's very easy to verify that L naught is 1 at x naught. If you put here x naught, L naught at x naught, so you see numerator and denominator, they are same. So they will be cancelled and you will get 1. And if you put any other value of x in this L naught, if you put any other value, like if you put x1 here, so this factor will be 0 and overall value will be 0. At x2, this second factor will be 0. So it is active only at one node. So it's time to solve some simple exercises, some toy problems. For the sake of understanding, I have taken the same data as we did in power series interpolation, so that you see we get exactly the same polynomial, but without involving the cost of solving a linear system. Let me take some pointer. We have 3 nodes. If you solve it by power series interpolation, you assume that behind the data there is a second degree polynomial, and you say this is a naught plus a1x plus a2x squared, and you plug these data points one by one. In place of x you put x1, and then in place of px, because you approximate the y with this polynomial, so at y value you write 4 when x is 1. At y value you write 7 when you have the value of x as 2. At y value you write 14 when you write x as 3. So you get a 3 cross 3 system involving the coefficients, unknown coefficients a0, a1 and a2. So this is a 3 cross 3 system, and this matrix will be a Vandermonde. I told you this will be a Vandermonde matrix, which is very bad condition matrix. We don't like. The numerical computing community hate such matrices. Those are bad conditioned. And another example of such matrix is the Hilbert matrix. This is also a bad condition matrix. But of course, these things are not included at this level in your course, so I'm not going into details. Of course, there are built-in commands in MATLAB to generate a Vandermonde matrix of any order. And you can see by computing the condition number by this command in MATLAB, condition of A. And A you could take as Vandermonde, or you could write A as Hilbert matrix, H-I-L-B. These are built-in commands. And then here you gives you the order. And then you compute the condition of such matrices. You see condition number scales very badly when you increase the size of these matrices. For a 3 cross 3 Vandermonde matrix, and then you can compute condition number for a 4 cross 4 Vandermonde matrix, and you can compute the condition number for a 10 cross 10 Vandermonde matrix. You see condition number will be shooting up. And same is the case for Hilbert matrix. Okay. At the moment we are solving this, we need a second degree polynomial. Lagrange idea was, don't solve the linear system. Just compute this factor. This is L naught, Y naught, L1, Y1, and then L2, Y2. Just put the values. X minus X1, X minus X2, X naught minus X1, X naught minus X2 times Y naught, plus so and so forth. I have already explained this in my Zoom session live with you. Of course, by simplifying this, you have this second degree polynomial, and data can be verified very easily. At x equals to 1, you get 4, which is exact match with this given data. At x equals to 2, this polynomial will generate 7, and at x equals to 3, this polynomial will generate at 14. And then if you are asked to interpolate at x is equals to 2.5, let's say a value that is not in the table, that is the actual task of interpolation, then you can plug 2.5 in this polynomial and you enjoy the results. Even I told you, if you are not required to find the Lagrange interpolating polynomial, you could save the time as well. You just replace in the start this value x as 2.5. So you will not get a polynomial, rather you will just directly hit the number that will be generated by this polynomial. But if you are asked to compute the Lagrange interpolating polynomial as well, then of course, first you will be multiplying such factors and generating a polynomial, and then interpolate the data at the specified points. So this is some toy problem, 3x3 problem. One more example, then I am going to wind up this lecture. 3 data points again, L0, Y0, L1, Y1, L2, Y2. So L0 and Y0 is 1, Y1 is 3, Y0 is here, and of course Y2 will be multiplied by the third component, and these are the factors given by Lagrange. So when you simplify after multiplication, you get this as second degree polynomial. And look at the question statement, we need to interpolate at x equals to 2. So after getting this Lagrange interpolating polynomial, you could replace x by 2 and the result will be 21. Okay. In your lab, you will see there will be a built-in command to compute this multiplication, x minus x1, x minus x2, up to so and so forth. This will be denoted by some vector phi, x minus xk, for example, divided by xi minus xk, and this k runs from 0 to n, and k is not equals to I. This is I. So this is a general term that represents such products. If you take a till 4, then this will be x minus x1, x minus x2, x minus x3, x minus x4, x naught minus x1, x naught minus x2, x naught minus x3, x naught minus x4. Of course, k is not equals to I. For L naught, you will not put here as 0 because x naught will be here. Anyways, this is the general representation of such repeated multiplications. So there will be built-in command in MATLAB, so life would be easy. Okay, dear students, but as I told you in many lectures, nothing is perfect. If you have a perfect formula for interpolation, then there will be no more research in this direction. And this is the case with all other disciplines. So in this case, if I add another data point in this table of values, let's say I repeat the experiment and I include a fourth value for the better approximation, then all these calculations get wasted. You need to recompute all such factors. So there is not a built-in mechanism if you include some data point in the given table of values, or even if you exclude some point, you say, oh, this point was not okay, this reading was not correct, then you have to repeat all these calculations. Then there is another method coming in the next video, Newton's divided difference interpolation formula. उसमें न्यूटन ने इस चीज की केयर रखी है कि अगर आपने कोई नया डेटा ऐड करना है तो पिछला सारा काम जाया नहीं होगा, बल्कि आप अपेंड कर देंगे जो नया डेटा पॉइंट उसमें है. ठीक है, ऑफ कोर्स वो हमारे नेक्स्ट लेक्चर का हिस्सा होगा. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच डियर स्टूडेंट्स. अस्सलाम वालेकुम, अल्लाह हाफिज. सी यू इन नेक्स्ट वीडियो.